Welcome back. I am back. I am back from Jamaica. As I told you guys in the last episode, my grandmother passed away, so had to go to the funeral. Had a great time with the family, but we are back to do some episodes. As I'm once again in the lab we call Studio 185 here at Henry's Canada. So, Sneaks, Rhymes, and Life is back in the building. We're going to talk a lot of different things over the several episodes to come, but let's get started about obviously the hot button topic that's happening right now, and people are still reacting to this. I can't believe it, but we got to talk about it. So we're going to the musical silo of things, and we have to talk about the Grammys, the 67 Grammys that happened on Sunday, and the big winner of the night. Well, there were big winners. We'll talk about several of them. The big winner of the night overall, Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar had an unbelievable night when it comes to winning awards. Kendrick, I think, has now been nominated for it's countless Grammys that we're at now. I think we're at it's almost it's well over 20. I want to tell you it's 47 or something like that. I may have to look up the number for you just to validate it. But Kendrick Lamar comes away with 5 Grammys. And what did he win Grammys for? So best music video for Not Like Us. Is it a surprise? Should not be one. Best rap song, Not Like Us. Uh, you know, best rap performance, Not Like Us. He did also win the big award, which was Song of the Year and Record of the Year for Not Like Us. So 5 Grammys. People are upset, and I've started to hear some of the pushback about, oh, Not Like Us was not as big as a song. It was the number one stream song all of last year. It was the fastest streaming song to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, all of 2024. So of course it should be the song of the year. Now, hey, let's rewind. Well, what's Not Like Us? Why is this song such a big song? So this goes back again. We're going to talk about it again. This topic just it has life of its own. It's like a cat. It's got like 9 lives, and we're not done with it yet because he's got to perform at the Super Bowl on Sunday. But Not Like Us was like the final diss song that Kendrick came out in the beef that he had with Drake. I wouldn't say Drake started it, but Drake became the one that was very direct with push-ups, and then Kendrick came with Euphoria, which is still, in my opinion, the best song that came out all of the entire beef. Then there was Meet the Grams, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We get then the party track, the club track, the song that people went anywhere and everywhere to try and hear, wanted to hear. They wanted to hear it in Toronto. We got 2 Kendrick Lamar SZA concert. It's the only place that's got 2 dates because the tickets sold out so fast. So Kendrick Lamar was easily the artist of 2024. Now, if you want to talk all genres, hey, Beyonce, congratulations, won album of the year. Some people are very upset that Beyonce won. Now, hey, there were some great albums. I can't believe, first of all, New Blue Sun, which was the flute album done by Andre 3000, that was nominated. Short and Sweet, Sabrina Carpenter, which is now a rising performer that we have, that was out there. Taylor Swift obviously was nominated, and then Hit 'Em Hard and Soft. That is the album that everyone is very upset that didn't win album of the year. There's pictures of Billie Eilish, who's created that album. She's absolutely crushed that she didn't win. Now, she poured her heart and her soul, and hey, Billie Eilish is an incredibly talented artist. But I think it was Beyonce's time. And you can say, hey, Jay-Z, amongst others, really petitioned to see her win an album like this. But it was her time. It was her time. She took the time and crafted a great album with the help of a lot of other guest appearances, she found a way to go deep into her country roots, in her Texas roots. And that's what people think. Like Beyonce's not someone from New York. Beyonce's not someone from, California. She has Texas roots. She grew up with country music. So hats off to Beyonce for winning album of the year for Cowboy Carter. I didn't like the album at first. I'd be perfectly honest, but the more that it was played, the more that it grew on me. And hey, there's some songs. I think the song with Dolly Parton is fantastic. Like a spin on an all-time classic, and now to have this album is one of the key cogs of the album is pretty amazing. So Billie Eilish, I feel for you. You maybe made the best second place runner-up Grammy album that we may have ever heard, but it just didn't happen for you this year, and it was Beyonce's time. And hey, Billie Eilish had lots of great pieces out there, and including I think it was Song of the Year, Birds of a Feather. Everyone talks about how great Birds of a Feather. I haven't listened to it more than 10 times. It's a really good song, but the impact of Not Like Us and how and I think you have to remember with Kendrick that this song brought communities together. That is what's unique about this song. So, Not Like Us was hands down the best song last year and deserved every piece that, you know, like the video debunks everything that Drake threw at him, really took it to a whole new level, and it brought people together. His pop out show, which we did a podcast on already, that happened in like June or July of 2024. We had from DeRozan to so many West Coast legends to Dr. Dre all appearing at that concert. It brought communities together. It brought a rise to the West Coast. Now, hey, Schoolboy Q, amongst other people, have something to say about the West Coast being on top, but you gotta give it. That's why I'm wearing a Boys in the Hood shirt. For those that are watching on YouTube, again, this is also available on Spotify, Google, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, you can get it. But this brought communities together, and this is why this album, well, not album, but song was just so memorable. It was like the apex of one of the great rap beefs that we've ever seen. And okay, we've seen some good ones. We've seen LL and Cannabis. We've seen LL and LL Cool J, or sorry, LL and Kumo D. We've seen obviously Nas and Jay Z is maybe the greatest one. We've seen Ice Cube against NWA. We saw obviously Biggie and Tupac. Rest in peace to both because they're both not here because of their beef. But I would just tell you the impact on this generation and this brand of hip hop that exists today. There was no bigger song. People are trying to debunk that rap is being overplayed. Rap is the most influential genre of music that we have today. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's in every commercial. It's in every jingle. It's in video games. You name it. But rap is not a fad like people thought. Rap turned 50 in 2023. It's 50. It's going to be 52 in 2025 where we stand today. It is not going. It is changing. Is evolving, and some people don't like the evolution. Purists like myself love the way rap was in the golden era, late 80s, early 90s. But it's evolving, it is changing, it is subgenring. And I think you just have to accept that people are going to take this genre and continue to build on it however possible and make it their own. Whether it's trap, whether it's mixing with a variety of different things, that is ultimately the evolution of music and the evolution of what we do. Um, and I really would like people to embrace this is where we're going. Hey, don't get me wrong. I've said it before and I will say it again. None of these current artists will ever be what we currently have seen with LL Cool J. LL Cool J, I will repeat it until the cows come home or until the day I die, is the most important hip hop artist, rapper ever. He broke the mold on literally ever. He was the rap superstar before we knew what a rap superstar was. We had Run DMC, but we never had one person run in so many different directions and really align what it meant to be a superstar on TV, a superstar in movies, to have a career, stop it, reinvent it, to make it even bigger and more relevant than ever it was before. He owns Rock the Bells, which is put on concerts, to Sirius Radio. Like the brand is to the point it continues to grow and will become infinite. It is embodying all of the elements of hip hop, whether it's breaking, DJing, graffiti, rapping, obviously, um, and so many other pieces that continue to build with what we know as part of the culture that we know today. So LL is paved the way for so many people like Nas, like Jay-Z, like Scarface, like Big Daddy Kane, like Rakim. Sorry about hitting the mic. And then obviously what we're talking about, Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole, Schoolboy Q. You name any of the guys that are currently at the peak. I'm gonna have to shout out my girl in a second, but Doechii won one rapper of the year, and that is a monumental piece on its own. I will hold that thought for a second and wrap up this piece on Kendrick. But where we are right now, and the impact of that song in bringing the entire LA community, and it was really great to see Kendrick talk in all of his different award speeches. Some were shorter, some were longer. He was surprised at some, he was happy with others. But I think it's really impactful that he talked about the fires in LA and really paid homage of how we can bring these communities together that are just like lost everything um, with these fires that happened, over the last several weeks, almost now to several months. So Kendrick is doing a lot of right thing. Hey, Kendrick is petty as shit. Like there's no two ways about it. He will dig and take direct shots and subliminal shots and everything else in between. But I think you have to admire this young man is finding a way to bring his entire community together. And that is something special. In a world of selfish, self centered people, Kendrick is thinking about the greater picture. And there is no better rapper that is out there right now to lead an entire community, to lead an entire coast, to lead, in many regards, an entire genre as we move forward than Kendrick Lamar. I'll still tell you, like 3 years ago, we needed a Kendrick album. We got one in 2018 when we got Damn, and we were begging. I was begging Kendrick, please drop an album. COVID was happening. We were in multiple lockdowns. We needed another Kendrick Lamar album. And he gave us Mr. Morale. And I didn't love it, but it grew on me. And as things moved on, we got the beef. Unfortunately, Drake went there, tried to wake up the sleeping giant. It was not a good look. Absolutely got bodied in this beef. And it led to Kendrick. Like if you didn't think Kendrick was on top before, he is undisputedly now the one that is absolutely on top of the rap game right now. Now, hey, we're going to get into it in a second, but someone else has come to the crown. I don't know if we thought it would be this person. So, with all that said, it is amazing, Kendrick, and winning, 5 Grammys in one go. It really hasn't been done by a rap artist. And he didn't win Album of the Year. This is not an Eminem thing. Like, this is to win Best Music Video, Best Rap Song, Best Rap Performance. And obviously, then, as I mentioned, um, Song and Record of the Year is something incredible. Like, Record of the Year, he went against Beyonce, the Beatles, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, and Taylor Swift with a feature of Post Malone, and Kendrick still won. There's like 1,300 people that voted on the panel of who should win, and they voted for Kendrick. There was no song that was more impactful in 2025. And now the show goes on the road, starting at the Super Bowl. And these guys aren't even getting paid at the Super Bowl. We could have a whole nother conversation, but the Super Bowl, you don't even get paid. Artists for years, we can talk about Usher. We can talk about Snoop. We can talk about, oh, well, Snoop did it with 50 and many others. So many other people have done the Super Bowl show. Like Usher's performance was amazing. Shakira and J Lo spent out hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think the last one we had with Usher cost them almost 10 million to pour. But the way that the Super Bowl can elevate someone's platform. I think I read Shakira's streams went up 250% after the Super Bowl, and J Lo's went up 330% after the Super Bowl. These performances are opportunities to put yourself in front of millions, make a difference. So Kendrick and SZA are going to be together during the Super Bowl. It's now confirmed that she's going to be there too. Don't be surprised if there's another special guest. I think when we had Dre and Snoop, it was going to be exciting, but to get Eminem and obviously to get Kendrick and then to get 50 hanging upside down was absolutely incredible. So it's going to be a great Super Bowl party on Sunday to see what all of that is a part of. But hats off to Kendrick. You know, I'll tip a hat. I'm not taking this one off because I got my headphones on. I don't want to rattle the mic again, but hats off to Kendrick. 5 Grammys is absolutely incredible, representing the rap genre, something really special. But let's talk about the one that Kendrick did not win. Kendrick did not win Best Rap Album. He's like, how? Well, he didn't really drop an album. Yes, he did, because he dropped GNX later in the year. Mm, People still have their hums and haws about how good GNX is. But I think when you think about the album of the year, and hey, again, I'll say that before we talk about maybe a subcategories. We talking about subcategories, trap amongst other things. The subcategory of hip hop or rap music right now, definitely trap has its own space. West Coast has its own space. East Coast boom bap has its own space. Down South has a space. Drill has its own space. But there is now a category that even, you know, called the older MCs, the golden era MCs are calling for their own category. Rap contemporary. I think what postmodern is what LL calls it. And maybe there should be a category for these rappers that are 45 and older, 50 and older, because it's tough to compete with the streams and the access and the popularity of some of these other artists like Kendrick, like Doechii, like Doja Cat, like Drake, like J. Cole. It's really hard for them to compete against someone and actually be recognized for their work. We did get a win in for the year of 2023. Award was given out in 2024 when Killer Mike won. And that was a long overdue. We got one with Nas in 2021 for his 2020 album, King's Disease. So the one he did with Hit Boy. So there is some sprinkles in between the arc that we have with many of these albums, but the album that we want to talk about, and I think I've mentioned it multiple times, that it needed to be recognized, and I'm glad it got its flowers. This would be Doechii's second album, sophomore album, Alligator Bites Don't Heal. And I tell you that it is a twist and a blend of so many different albums and so many different artists, but she owns it and makes her own. And if you got a chance to see Doechii perform at the Grammys, it is one of the great Grammy performances we've ever seen. I'm not going to say it's in the same category as seeing Michael Jackson do the moonwalk like we've seen in years past, but I will tell you that she owned it. It was something different. The yoga poses, the school uniform display, and then a quick change to like a bikini. I don't know if the bikini was really necessary, but definitely was for a shock value piece. But her and all her movements, but at the same time be able to perform at a very high level was incredibly impressive. And when we talk about Doechii, and again, was against, again, artists that I mentioned, my personal favorite album from last year was the Auditorium Volume 1, Common and P Rock. Music for the Soul. It was one of the great albums that came out last year. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Still listening to it today. The number one album, the number one song, and yeah, Against Lot, Not Like Us, and amongst others that I played last year. Absolutely incredible. But I will tell you, when we talk about Doechii and the things that her album, and I think, kind of look at some of the songs. Love Boom Bap. I love Bloom. I love Hide and Seek. I love Bullfrog, but Denial is a River, where she almost kind of plays like multiple characters, is phenomenal. It is one of my most favorite songs that I heard all of last year. And I would say, hey, there's a little Nicki in there. There is a little Meg the Stallion that's in there. I feel the spirit of Lauryn Hill in there. I feel the energy of Queen Latifah in her, but she owns it all her songs. I feel Cardi B in there. And again, we go back to winning album of the year as a hip hop artist, being a woman, being a femc. It's only ever happened 3 times. And it's Cardi B and Lauryn Hill. That's it. And we've had the best rap song, you know, we have lots of people that have been able to do that. Nicki Minaj has never done it. Queen Latifah's never done it. The list goes on and on, but only this is the third MC or femc that's ever done it. Is absolutely incredible, and she deserves every last flower that she gets for this critically acclaimed album. I will go to bat. I am 50 years old and I love this album. I was like, who is this Doechii girl? Let's listen to it. And the album is phenomenal. And every single time you listen to it, it gets better and better. You catch concept, you catch her lyricism, you catch so many different things in how she's created a masterful piece. Or I'm going to tell you it's a classic. Ooh, I love to use the word modern day classic, but this is one of the best albums created in the last 5 to 10 years. And if you haven't listened to it, you don't know who I'm talking about. It again, Alligator Bites Never Heal, Doechii. You got to go and listen to this album. You probably listened to it already because she won a Grammy. She beat Kendrick. She beat Common and Pete Rock. She beat multiple other people that essentially should have been up for the award, or maybe you think should have won the award. It is a fantastic piece of work. Now, if you look at some of the other winners, you know, there's some interesting, winners across the board. Lucky Day won Best Traditional R&B Performance for That's You. Our best R&B song was Saturn, collective of people, which include SZA. Um, there is some great winners. Chris Brown won for 11:11. That's the best R&B album of the year. It's great to see Chris Brown come all the way back after all the things that he's been through and done to himself, literally self-inflicting wounds. So it's great to see that he can actually create good music that people like. Um, to see him come all the way back. And hey, Usher got a boost. Like I told you guys already, Coming Home. I wouldn't say that he was even close to one of Usher's 4 best albums, but that got a boost because he performed at the Super Bowl. So little Super Bowl today and the reasons why people perform there, but also hats off to all the Grammy winners. Hey, I feel for people like Billie Eilish and Sabrina Carpenter that are very popular, very talented, that did not win a Grammy, but hats off to those that actually won. Kendrick with 5, Doechii with the big win. Obviously, album of the year being Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. So salute, much respect. It is Black History Month. It is the birthday of the late Bob Marley, that is 80 years old today. But that's all we got. Sneaks Around to Life Grammy reaction show. We out.